Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Library Without Borders. So today's video, I will be sharing the books that I am currently reading or that I will be reading for the month of December. So come with me and I'll show you all the books. Jambo, karibu, welcome to my channel. My name is Chilanda and I will be your host today. Anyways, you guys, I hope you're having a good time where you are. You're doing great. I'm doing fantastic. And I am ready to go out. I'm gonna meet a girlfriend. It's her birthday and we're gonna go and have a good time. But before I do that, let me talk to you a little bit about the books that I am currently reading. Because right now we're December 9th already. So let's get into it. There they are. And Fourth Wing as well. Where's my Fourth Wing? First on my list, it is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Guys, I'm here. I already read that much. And I don't know. I actually love this book. I'm enjoying it. I never thought that I would actually dig dragons talking to humans. But so far, this book is mwah. Let me just read you a little bit. 20-year-old Violet Soaringale was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now, the commanding general, also known as her tough-as-talent mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre, dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body's brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans. They incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter, like Xaden Ryerson, the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet, with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly. The kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Whew. You guys, I know whatever they're talking about, I'm understanding, and I'll tell you all about it because I actually have a vlog on this one. Next, you guys, I finished reading Long Shot. You know, it was only natural that I go grab Block Shot by Kennedy Ryan, and I'm also gonna do a vlog on this one. So I'm gonna do a vlog on Fourth Wing and this one. But let's find out. If Jared Foster had $1 for every time Banner Morales made his heart skip a beat, the heart everyone assumes is frozen over, he'd be richer than he already is. He's found success as a sports agent by always assuming no means think about it. And he knows Banner's thinking about him. Her simmering anger, the way she puts him in his place, foreplay. She thinks she's won the game, but they're just getting started. If Banner had $1 for every time Jared broke her heart, she'd have exactly $1. One epic failure of a night. After parting on such bad terms, Banner has no intention of ever giving Jared a second chance. She's found success in a field ruled by men like him. She's learned to call the shots and block them when she has to. So she'll ignore the way he makes her heart pound. Sure, he seems carved from her most private fantasies, but she can get past that. Okay, well, what more can I say? You know, Kennedy Ryan writes like no one else, and I can't wait to talk to you about this book. Next, I am reading a little Christmas book in celebration of the holidays, and it's by Nancy Thayer, and it is Let It Snow. Very Christmassy, right? Quite appropriate. Christina Antonioni is preparing for the holidays at her Nantucket toy shop, unpacking last-minute shipments and decorating for her loyal Christmas customers. But when her Scrooge of a landlord, Oscar Biddlesman, suddenly raises her rent, seems nearly impossible for Christina to continue her business. Even so, Christina hopes there is a warm heart underneath Oscar's steely exterior. When she bonds with Wink, his sweet young granddaughter who frequents the shop, it becomes clear that perhaps he isn't so cold after all. And with the help of Wink's uncle, who happens to be a charming and very handsome bachelor, this may be the best Christmas any of them could have ever imagined. Nancy Thayer's enchanting Nantucket setting provides the perfect backdrop for this holiday love story. Well, what more can I say? The book set it up. The reason why I did not do a TBR, like a jar chooses my TBR this time around, it's because I want to read what I want. I don't want to leave it in the hands of a jar or in the hollow of a jar. The hollow. You know what I mean. So next, I can't wait to read this book. It is Colson Whitehead, Har Shuffle. Pretty, huh? It says here, to his customers and neighbors on 125th Street, Ray Carney is an upstanding salesman of reasonably priced furniture, making a decent living for himself and his family. Few people know he descends from a line of Harlem hoods and crooks, and that his facade of normalcy has more than a few cracks in it. Har Shuffle follows Ray through 3 different capers in a gritty tour of the uptown underworld. In 1959, his cousin Freddie joins a crew who plans to rob the Hotel Teresa, the Waldorf of Harlem, and volunteers Ray's services as the fence. The heist doesn't go as planned. They rarely do. In 1961, a personal slight dispatches Ray on an unlikely and dangerous plan of revenge. And finally, our humble vendor of home goods must rescue a loved one from a scheme gone wrong, while Harlem smolders in the aftermath of the 1964 race riots. Now, I know I'm gonna have a ride with this book. So next is God is a Black Woman by Christina Cleveland, PhD. Look at the cover. Ain't it pretty? For years, theologian, social psychologist, and activist Christina Cleveland spoke about racial reconciliation to congregations, justice organizations, and colleges. Yet over time, she felt she could no longer trust in the God she'd been taught to worship, a God who, she realized, did not affirm a Black woman like her. Her crisis of faith centered on an intellectual and spiritual journey through history and across France on a 400-mile walking pilgrimage to the ancient shrines of Black Madonnas, where she discovered the healing power of the sacred Black feminine. In recounting her mystical journey, Cleveland reveals how America's collective idea of God as a white man has perpetuated hurt, disillusionment, and racial and gender oppression. Integrating her stirring personal story, womanist ideology, as well as theological, historical, and social science research, she invites us to dismantle the cultural white male God and encounter the sacred Black feminine, giving us a new and hopeful path for connecting with the divine and honoring the sacredness of all Black people. Now you know why I picked this book. Exactly because of what she's saying. And I can't wait to tell you more about it. God is a Black woman. I already knew that. Next, it is this book, African Town by Irene Litham and Charles Waters. Oh, 2 authors. Inspired by the true story of the last American slave ship. Ooh. This holiday sounds like it's gonna be a little morbid, not so joyful. Or is it? Maybe there will be stories of triumphs. We shall discover. So this says, the year is 1859, and though the transatlantic slave trade has been banned for more than 50 years, the enslavement of Black people still fuels the American economy. Southern plantation owners now face the threat of a civil war and the end of slavery. Timothy Meagher can't conceive of such a disruption to his way of life. He resents government interference in his right to make a living. Against this backdrop, he makes a bet with other businessmen that he can smuggle enslaved Africans into the United States without being caught. Soon, Meagher has commissioned what is known as the last slave ship, the Clotilda. Wrenched from their homes in what is now Benin, the 110 African captives on board the Clotilda face an uncertain fate. Among these souls are 5 vibrant young men and women whose dreams are just starting to take flight. Abile, Gumpa, Kehunko, Kosola, and Kupule. They survive the Middle Passage and arrive in Alabama as enslaved people still clinging to the hope of one day returning home. Through incomprehensible brutality, they hold fast to their dreams. They marry, raise children, and form a legacy that still endures in African Town. Inspired by the true story of the survivors of the last American slave ship, African Town is a powerful portrait of a pivotal moment in history, giving a new complicated meaning to the American dream. No matter how many times I read these slave narratives books, it never sinks in. What never sinks in my head is the fact that this part of history exists. And finally, I have this book. It's A Woman of Endurance, a novel by Dalma Llanos Figueroa. A Woman of Endurance reveals the unforgettable journey of Paula, an enslaved African woman on a sugarcane plantation in 19th century Puerto Rico. After an attempted escape from a world of slave breeding and a brutal beating, Paula awakens to a new plantation, Hacienda Las Mercedes. Here, the reader follows her into the complex world of a community in which she learns to recognize and embrace the many faces of love: a mother's love, a daughter's love, a sister's love, a love of community, and finally the self-love that she must experience before she can offer herself to another. I know it sounds like a lot of slave narratives, but I need to see, the sooner I read them, the sooner I can put them aside and focus on other kinds of books. And lastly, which I'm not sure that I will make it, I know I did say that's the last book, but I'm hoping to squeeze one more. This particular one. This is a YA book and I'm really intrigued to read it, but looking at the thickness of this book and all these books that I must go through, I'm not sure I'll make it, but let me just add it, you know. Lukosa was once a city of magic and splendor, but now magic is no more than a myth. Until one night when Kofi, an indentured beast keeper at the infamous night zoo, unexpectedly unleashes a dangerous, untamed power that has been secretly brewing within her for years. She sets into motion a chilling sequence of events that not only upends her whole world, but also links her to a complicated stranger with secrets of his own. As a warrior in training for the elite Sons of the Six, Akon's task is to stop Kofi in her attempt to flee the night zoo. Instead, she saves him from the Shetani, the monster that has plagued Lukosa for nearly a century and stalks Akon's nightmares. Each with their own hidden agenda, the two strike a tentative bargain and team up to capture the Shetani as a hope for solution to their dire circumstances. But to do so, they must enter the greater jungle, a world steeped in wild, frightening magic and untold danger. And once the hunt begins, it quickly becomes unclear whether they are the hunters or the hunted. So hopefully I can get through these books. Voila! There you have it, all the books that I'll be reading for the month of December. I'm hoping to have a few days off during the holidays. Well, like during the Christmas time there, so that I can read as much as I can possibly can. But in the meantime, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and your notification bell so that when I post, you are notified. I'll see you next time. Ciao.